Ryan Ham here, and what you see before you is a CVA Hunter caliber 44 Magnum with a 22-inch barrel. It is a rifle made in Spain and imported by Black Powder Incorporated, or the CVA, which is Connecticut Valley Arms, but they're not in Connecticut, oddly enough. This gun is brand new from the factory, and I am not planning on shooting it until I get it cut down and threaded at about 16.5 inches. The main reason I want to do that is because of this little guy here, which is a Silencer Co. SWR Octane 45 suppressor. What I plan on doing is shooting subsonic ammunition of the 300 grain variety. This is the Hornady XTP, 300 grain hollow point XTP with a 16-inch barrel and a 300 grain bullet traveling at about 1,000 feet per second. I should be able to hit anything within 150 yards without hearing protection and without worrying about people around hearing the shot. That's the plan. We'll see how that works out. Just to give you an idea of how long this thing will be in the end, the barrel as it stands now is right at 22 inches. Or for you with a metric system, Google it. So at 22 inches, it is about 5.5 inches longer than I want it to be. So if we look over here at where the 5.5 inch mark is here, we should get a good indication of where I'm going to cut it. And what I'll do is I'll put, there you go. So that's how long it should end up. About 16.6 is where I'm intending to cut it. 16 inches is the legal limit in the United States of America currently. And overall length of the gun should be at that point just under 32 inches. So it'll make a nice handy package, about as small as an M4 carbine without the suppressor on it. But of course, I plan on running it with the suppressor most of the time. What that should look like is, well, this. So if you could see that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause it and zoom in for a close-up, and we'll look at it in a little more detail. I'll give you a review of the rifle as it stands. Then I'll pause for a couple of months, and hopefully we'll get everything together. I'll have some good subsonic loads, and we'll get some range time. And we're back, and we're closer. It's a typical break action. The lever is here to break the action, and I'll push on that lever, and we'll open her up, and you'll see that there's nothing in the chamber. We'll close it back up. There is a hammer spur that assists you with cocking the hammer when need be. If there's a scope mounted, it really helps to you get around the bell of the scope. I haven't mounted this. Again, this is right out of the box. This is kind of a brand new gun. See some of the close-up workmanship here. You'll note when the receiver is closed, the forestock fits to the receiver like that. When open, it fits like that. So there's no unsightly wear marks on the side of the receiver from where the stock has rubbed. The scope mount, it seems pretty solid. I have to take it off in order to send it to the gunsmith for threading. The fore end has got a pot belly look to it, and it has got a sling swivel all the way up front, and you've got a screw right there and a screw right there. So two screws hold on the forestock. So you'll see the fit of the barrel to the stock is kind of weird. Not the best overall. I'm not interested in perfection. I'm pretty much interested in just having a utility gun. From what I understand, these are fairly accurate, and I can tell you something about the gun that I've discovered without shooting it, is that the trigger pull is outrageously good for what the gun is. Just super smooth, butter smooth. Better, believe it or not, better than my Thompson Center Contender, better than my Exmark Pro trigger on my Remington 700 SPS, and I'm frankly amazed. Whoever did this, they shirked in other areas, but they sure didn't shirk on the trigger. You'll be amazed at how nice the trigger is. Plastic trigger guard. Recoil pad says crush zone. That's a marketing ploy. It's nothing more than solid rubber. It does have a little bit of give to it. Unfortunately, it tends to grab fabric on whatever clothing you're wearing, so it's kind of sticky going up. I might end up just putting a recoil pad of some sort on there, one of the slip-on ones. Not that I want the stock any longer. It's actually about 14 inches on length of pull, but I do want relief from having that grab my shoulder every time I go up. But hoping it'll tame the massive recoil of heavy bullet but light powder load 44 Magnum loads out of a 16-inch barrel. So that's pretty much all there is to say at this point. No shooting, because of course I don't plan on shooting it. I don't see any point in wasting the ammunition. There's no point, in my opinion, to doing anything until I get it cut down to 16 inches. If I need to send it back for any work at the factory, all I did was cut the barrel off. It's not my fault. Hope they follow through on their lifetime warranty. The gun, overall so far, I'm pretty impressed with most things. The only negative I've found so far, and I might come up with some in the future, but the only negative I've found so far, it has to do with the workmanship of how they finished off the receiver. And right here, it is razor sharp. So they did absolutely no deburring right where my thumb is there. So what I am going to do is I'm going to take a stone and round that over and then do some touch-up bluing on it, just so I don't cut myself at any time in the future. One other feature I forgot to mention, it does have an extractor, not an ejector. So when you open the action, it just eases the round out so you can grab it. It does not pop it out. Yeah, and that's a good thing because I plan on saving all my brass. I prefer an extractor rather than an ejector. So there you go. It's Ryan Ham. Hopefully it will be sooner rather than later that I get my next video up, and we can have this puppy, my Octane 45, sticking off the end of the barrel, and that'll be about there. It's Ryan Ham. If you've enjoyed this video, I would appreciate a like. Ryan Ham. Goodbye.